Heilongjiang sports arena collapses again, multiple people dead. China's small chili pepper sparks a red uproar. IVF can be reimbursed, and the baby-making industry will boom. CCP warns of foreign bioattacks as multiple viruses cause outbreaks. The center of gravity of a world aflame, the Chinese regime is the focus of evil in the modern world. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Heilongjiang sports arena collapses again, multiple people dead. Following the sports arena collapse in Heilongjiang's Qiqihar on July 23 of this year, which claimed the lives of 11 people and deeply impacted public perception, another incident involving the collapse of a roof occurred on November 6 in Jiamusi City, Heilongjiang. As of 10:57 a.m. on November 7, according to Beijing time, CCTV reported that there were 3 fatalities and 1 person injured. At the time of the incident, there were 7 individuals inside the stadium, and 3 of them were fortunate enough to escape. The venue where this accident happened is part of the New Sunshine Fitness Club in Huanan County, Jiamusi City, Heilongjiang. The collapse occurred in the western second-floor basketball area, with an estimated collapse area of about 500 square meters, which is primarily used for youth basketball training. A video capturing the scene of the incident was shared on social media, showing that the roof of a 2-story venue had completely collapsed, with approximately 6 fire trucks parked outside the arena. The street around the arena was covered in deep snow. Inside the arena, there was also a significant accumulation of snow, and rescue teams were using flashlights to search for people. Some injured individuals were carried out on stretchers. A local woman recalled that at the time the incident occurred, she heard a loud thud and felt the building shaking at that moment. Another local resident said that prior to the collapse, the area had experienced heavy snowfall, leading to a substantial buildup of snow on the arena's roof. As previously mentioned, Heilongjiang is currently dealing with a significant meteorological disaster, a blizzard. On the evening of the 6th, at 5:30 p.m., the Jiamusi City Meteorological Bureau issued a red blizzard warning, indicating that the city had received 15 millimeters of snowfall in just 6 hours. Local residents said that they had never experienced such heavy snow at this time of year before. Therefore, many Chinese social media users on Weibo speculated that the roof might have collapsed due to the weight of the heavy snow and criticized it as a possible substandard construction project. Some discover that it appears as though the entire roof collapsed, and there is no sign of any reinforcing steel bars, saying if there were even a few steel wires, it wouldn't have collapsed like this. Another internet user urged that an investigation of the construction company and regulatory authorities is needed. This shows a disregard for human life. How did it pass inspection? When we were kids in Heilongjiang, even during heavy snowfall, roofs didn't collapse. We used to jump out of windows to clear the snow. Don't blame it on the snow. If it can't withstand a little snow, then all the sports venues in the Northeast should be demolished and rebuilt. Some expressed anger, questioning why the Jiamusi authorities hadn't learned from the Qiqihar sports arena collapse, which resulted in the tragic deaths of numerous children. As previously reported, the tragic incident of the sports arena roof collapse at Qiqihar's No. 34 middle school in July this year was caused by construction work at the school. The construction company had stored a significant quantity of foam board insulation on the roof of the sports arena, which had a limited load-bearing capacity. When heavy rain fell in the area, the foam board insulation absorbed water and became heavier, ultimately leading to the roof's collapse. China's small chili pepper sparks a red uproar. In China, autumn marks the chili pepper harvesting season, with the country being the world's top producer. However, a persistent issue of illegal dyeing of chili pepper products continues to plague the industry. Chinese chili production, accounting for nearly half of the global total, caters to both domestic and international markets, with exports reaching $1.7 billion in 2022. These products are occasionally found to contain the industrial dye Sudan red, sparking controversies. Unscrupulous practices involve adding Sudan red to enhance the appearance of chili pepper products. Manufacturers speculate that consumers associate redness with spiciness, leading to the addition of Sudan red. Taiwan's Food and Drug Administration has reported that during border inspections between the beginning of the year and September, a total of 217 batches of Chinese chili pepper powder were examined. Among these batches, 7 were deemed substandard, originating from 5 different manufacturers. These substandard products were found to contain Sudan red dye number 3 and pesticide residues. The total quantity of chili pepper powder with illegally added Sudan red dye was 29,750 kilograms, with concentrations ranging from 5 ppb to 17 ppb. Zhao Mingwei, a toxicology expert and associate professor in the Department of Biotechnology at Chungyuan Christian University in Taiwan, explained that Sudan red is a chemically synthesized coloring agent, primarily used as an industrial-grade dye and should not be added to food. Sudan red dyes number 1 to 4 are common and typically employed in products such as paint, gasoline, and wax. When it comes to the illegal addition of these dyes to food, the root cause is cost saving. In an attempt to enhance the color and appearance of low-quality chili peppers or chili powder, unscrupulous producers resort to Sudan red, hoping to fetch higher prices. Despite China's ongoing efforts to combat the illegal addition of non-food substances and the misuse of food additives, this year, Taiwan Customs intercepted the highest number of Chinese substandard chili powder in recent years. Zhao Mingwei believes that China's recurrent illegal food coloring incidents may not solely be due to law enforcement gaps, but rather a result of turning a blind eye to the problem. This persistent issue over several decades indicates systemic problems. IVF can be reimbursed, and the baby-making industry will boom. On October 27, the Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region Medical Insurance Bureau issued a notice stating that several therapeutic-assisted reproductive medical services would be included in the Basic Medical Insurance and Work-Related Injury Insurance Fund coverage, effective from November 1 this year. Following Beijing, Guangxi has become the second region to officially incorporate assisted reproductive technologies into its medical insurance. This move to include assisted reproductive technologies in medical insurance is good news for many infertile families who cannot afford the high treatment costs. Currently, there is a mature industry chain for artificial assisted reproduction in China, with capital pouring in. However, the high costs continue to be a barrier preventing many infertile families from accessing treatment. For eligible insured individuals, the reimbursement rates for employee basic medical insurance and urban and rural residents basic medical insurance are 70% and 50%, respectively. The reimbursement is limited to outpatient services, with a maximum of 2 reimbursements per person per year, subject to the annual fund's highest payment limit for insured individuals. With the release of Guangxi's medical insurance policy, the assisted reproductive sector in the stock market has shown increased activity. According to the Lancet China Maternal and Child Health Special Report, it is predicted that the infertility rate in China will reach 18.2% in 2023. This means that the number of infertility patients may have exceeded 50 million. However, the Chinese Assisted Reproductive Research Report 2023 by a team of reproductive experts mentions that in China, only 2% to 3% of babies are born using assisted reproductive technologies. This suggests that out of the 50 million infertility patients, only about 1 million undergo assisted reproductive treatments each year. The low penetration rate also implies significant growth potential and market space in the industry. In 2015, China ended its decades-long one-child policy, allowing couples to have 2 children, and further relaxed it to 3 children in 2021. This has partially driven the demand for assisted reproductive services. CCP warns of foreign bioattacks as multiple viruses cause outbreaks. Recently, as we have been reporting, based on Chinese media sources, a significant number of individuals, particularly children, in China have been displaying symptoms of respiratory tract infections. These symptoms include fever, coughing, sore throat, and the concerning white lung condition. This situation has resulted in a notable increase in the number of visits to pediatric outpatient departments, fever clinics, and infusion centers nationwide. The infections are attributed to a range of causes, including mycoplasma pneumonia, influenza, the new coronavirus, norovirus, and other viruses, all contributing to a surge in hospital admissions. Notably, at this moment, the CCP's Ministry of National Security has called for increased awareness of bioattack threats from foreign countries. With authorities' lack of transparency and limited press freedom in China, observers believe that a new wave of the new coronavirus has emerged in China, and the ruling CCP has initiated a propaganda campaign to shift the blame. On October 30th, the CCP's Ministry of National Security published an article on its official account on Chinese social media platform WeChat, titled "How Small Genes Trigger a Biosecurity Tornado." It claims, in addition to targeting our country's human genetic resources, some overseas institutions, organizations and personnel are also eyeing our species' resources as their secret theft targets. The ministry's article said that the National Security Agency discovered that an unnamed overseas non-governmental organization was recruiting volunteers in China in the name of conducting research on biological species, collecting data and information on the distribution of biological species in various places, and requiring participants to upload the collected data through special mobile phone software. It also stated, 99.7% to 99.9% of human DNA is the same, and the small differences are the key to distinguishing various races. If there are a sufficient number of human genetic samples, scientists can analyze and understand the unique genetic characteristics of each nation and race. The ministry warned in the article, if used by individuals or organizations with ulterior motives, genetic weapons can even be developed to kill predetermined racial targets, thereby selectively attacking targets with specific racial genes. It called for raising awareness against such outside threats. The article has been widely reported by major Chinese media outlets. Major Chinese media reports also accuse the United States of being the biggest collector of genomic data of Chinese, Arabs, and Europeans, citing a CCP Foreign Ministry's spokesperson's allegation in May. Shi Tao, a current affairs commentator based in the U.S., mentioned in his YouTube talk show that the ongoing outbreaks in China, along with the sudden warning from the CCP, indicate that a new, potentially deadly wave of the new coronavirus has already begun in China. Shi Tao suggests that the CCP is aware of this situation and is pointing fingers to foreign countries first in preparation to shift the blame. The center of gravity of a world aflame, the Chinese regime is the focus of evil in the modern world. On October 30th, Bradley A. Thayer, a member of the Committee on Current Danger China, shared his insights in a piece featured in the Epoch Times, titled "The Center of Gravity of a World Aflame, the Chinese Regime is the Focus of Evil in the Modern World." In his article, he delved into the contemporary global landscape, shedding light on the pivotal role played by the Chinese Communist Party, as he articulated. A world aflame compels a reflection on strategic priorities. The wars in Europe and the Middle East are brutal struggles and humanitarian disasters that are certain to become even worse. Each war is pregnant with the possibility of escalation to higher levels of conflict and involving more states. At this time when U.S. resources are stressed, and there is a possibility of greater conflict, it's important to keep the U.S. focus on the enemy's center of gravity. The head of the snake is the Chinese regime. If that could be eliminated, Iran and its allies would be far lesser threats, and Russia under Vladimir Putin would be as well. To borrow from President Ronald Reagan's March 8, 1983, Evil Empire address to the National Association of Evangelicals in Orlando, Florida, where he termed the Soviet Union the focus of evil in the modern world, so, too, today is the Chinese regime the focus of evil in the modern world. The center of gravity of these wars is found in the ideology and ambition of the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. A path to its defeat is through offensive political warfare, undermining its chokehold on the Chinese people so that they can overthrow this odious regime and so it can no longer generate and support conflict the world over. The article highlights the contradictions within the CCP's ideology, where they desire to achieve the power and legitimacy of the West but can't do so without forfeiting communism. The CCP is seen as being incoherent and insecure about its legitimacy, resulting in political and ideological turmoil in China. The article suggests that the CCP's ideological crisis can only be resolved through its overthrow, which would require internal and external pressures to build and ultimately end its tyranny. The article calls for action against the CCP due to its impact on the world and the need to ensure the well-being of the Chinese people and global political stability. Now is the time to move against the CCP as it faces profound economic, trade, and social difficulties. It's the focus of evil in the modern world through its own actions and the actions of its proxies emboldened by its support. Its tyranny must be ended for the good of the Chinese people and the stability of world politics. Don't forget to leave a comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.